I am told by my mother that I was drawing behind the couch in our living room from the time I was about 3 years old. I was always compelled to draw. And as I grew older, I painted. I was fortunate enough to get plucked out of a poor neighbourhood and sent to a private grammar school where they had a good art programme. And they were very encouraging. But I've been self-taught completely all my life. Work, work, work. I work all the time. That's what I do. When I first left home, I always took a sketch pad with me. And I ended up living on a kibbutz in Israel. I never thought of myself as an artist. It's just something I did. While living on that kibbutz, there was a famous Israeli artist whose name escapes me, I'm sorry. He suggested I hang my drawings in the dining room. In the dining room, one day, an American girl arrived on the kibbutz. She saw my drawings and said, "You should come to New York." This was 1977. I came with her to New York, and in about a year's time, East Village was exploding with galleries. So I set to it. I took one official art class. It was figure drawing. I thought, if I'm going to be an artist, I should learn to draw people. It was at the Art Student League of America, which is a famous art school here. And then I just went to work. The early 80s, the mid 80s were really exciting. There was gallery openings all over the place. Every little corner store, people's living rooms, was a gallery opening. So I started to sell work. Get collected by major corporations like Swift Chemicals, Barclays Bank of England, and such like. Towards the end of that, in the 90s, I got picked up by a Japanese gallery who said, which I thought was funny, "You have talent, but you're not an artist yet. I will buy everything you do for the next 3 years. I want you to paint every day. We'll send you money. We'll take the paintings." And that went on for 3 years. And I sold probably 250 to 300 paintings to Japan. They flew me over there. I was signing autographs. It was a wonderful experience. When I came back, I continued that. And then their economy crashed. And they stopped buying my work. And I'd lost all my connections in New York. All the people that I worked with, all the different galleries, they were gone. So it was a time of struggle. But at the beginning of this century, I got back, I focused, and I started working again, and I'm climbing up again, and I'm passionate. My artwork right now, and probably for the past 3 or 4 years, maybe longer, I've worked out that my job as an artist, I'm not saying this for anyone else, but my job as an artist is to document my time. Whether symbolically, metaphorically, or actually. I'm talking about what's going on in the world now. And I often juxtapose with humor, even if it's a very serious condition. For example, like in this one, you've got a little chihuahua on an ice floe when the world is melting. So my work is about documenting what's going on. And sometimes it's political, sometimes it's environmental. More and more of late, the environment has become at the top of my list. Because it affects everyone. Political can be more local and focused. I have no choice. It's been in my blood since I was a baby. And I look at the beauty of nature. The beauty of nature. Let's take that. And I see pattern and everything. If you look at a lot of my work, there's actual repeat patterns going on in the backgrounds, on the surfaces. And I see pattern as the chaos and beauty of nature. But now when I'm getting towards more natural, realistic, I still see the patterns. As, for example, the lovely flow of this arm is echoed in the lovely flow of that glacier. The patterns here are the patterns there. We're all integrated and together. That's what I'm enjoying and trying to show. That we're all connected. It's all one universal thing. It's joy. It's work, but it's joy. And it's also, I hope, a learning tool for the viewer to get drawn into a beautiful painting and maybe learn something, maybe think about something. And I feel that it's a legacy that I'm going to leave to this world for a short period. I'm going to tell you how I usually construct a painting. First of all, I'll spend countless hours sitting on my computer looking at photographs of nature, whether it's landscapes, seascapes, animals, leafy glades, waterfalls, rocks, pigeons, bugs. Just looking at stuff until I'm inspired. For example, I was inspired by this wonderful old man of the forest, the orangutan. Now I think, what context am I going to place him that will talk about their endangered habitat, our endangered habitat, and partly what the cause is. So I look for then plastics and oil and pollutants and try and put all that together into a beautiful painting. So now I've got separate reference photographs that I'll cobble together. And I'll scale out the size of my canvas. And on my reference photographs I'll draw grids. It's an old technique. And I'll make a larger grid. So I'll draw in pencil on a blank canvas the actual painting. The next step to make the painting, because it's so intimidating, I'll do it in sections. Small sections. I'll mix up 12 to 14 tones going from black to white. So I've got all the same tones, so they'll all mesh seamlessly. So every day, I'll start, each section, which was about this size, would probably take about 3 days to do, because it's black, all of it with fine, tiny brushes. Black, slightly lighter, till I get to the lighter tones. So it's a work, it's a progress, it's intimidating. But at the end, it's supremely justifying. Sometimes I wish I was one of these expressive paintings with paint dripping and physical action, then done. Mine is much more measured and meditative. And when I finished this particular piece, I cried and sighed and breathed. It's complete. I'm getting goose flesh now, just saying that. So that's my technique, and that's my emotional feeling towards it as well.